Okay, so today we have the Smiths, Bigmouth Strikes Again. This is from the album Rank, of course, but this is the live performance, just like I did last week. And this one was specifically requested, and I said, what the hell? I don't know how long I'm going to do this live performance reacting to the Smiths, but I'm having fun so far. I haven't really ever watched many live Smiths performances. I don't know, I'm not much of a live guy, so it's been fun so far. We're going to get into this, talk about it after. Of course, I reacted to the song many moons ago, but I'm a little bit further in knowing what I'm doing now, so let's get into it. Here we go.
I was only joking when I said I'd like to smash everything in your head. Sweetness, I was only joking when I said by right you should be bludgeoned in your bed. And now I know how Joan of Arc felt. Now I know how Joan of Arc as the flames rose to Roman nose and her walkman started to melt.
The Smiths, Bigmouth Strikes Again from the Rank album, of course, the live performance I'm watching for the first time here, as I mentioned at the top. That's why I'm reacting to it. I apologize for saying, oh my god, so many times during the song, but oh my god, this is just, what a fun, how long was it? I don't even know, 4 minutes and 44 seconds. I mean, I was just so entranced. I was just so delighted, right away. I just, as I mentioned last week, Morrissey taking off his shirt and such, and then this one here, I mean, his shirt's already off, he's swinging it around, throws it to the crowd. I hit my ceiling, my god. And anyway, throws it to the crowd, and just right away we're off. I mean, find somebody who loves you as much as Morrissey loves to take his shirt off. I mean, holy moly. And it's just, I don't know, it's such pure Smiths. It's just so good. Everything about it from the get-go with of course, we all know the studio version. I know the studio version only. And right away with Johnny Marr's guitar lines, oh my god, sharp, just melodic as well, chiming as well, chimey, whatever you want to say there too, and how it just starts off and you're like, I'm home. I mean, my god, it's such a nice sound, and it sounds so dumb to say such a nice sound, but you just think about Johnny Marr. He was and is one of the greatest guitarists of all time. But in the 1980s, just how good he was and how influential he was. And when you listen to a song like this and you watch him just go and go and go and just, contribute to that chugging rhythm that the song has. And it's just like, oh my God, I can't imagine, I think about a question that a teacher asked me in high school, if you could go back and watch a live performance of any band, at the time I said the Doors at Hollywood Bowl in 1967, I believe, or 68. I can't remember now. But but now I think, I wish I could have, a lot of people have, but I wish I could have seen the Smiths. And of course we never will. But at this time in 1986, I mean, my God, being in this audience, I just can't imagine the emotions, the hormones. I mean, holy fuck. Anyway, that's all just comes to my mind as I watch this and just watch how frantic the band is, watch how tight they are, and maybe not, tight in the way of being friends, but it's just, I don't know, my God. Then Mike Joyce. I talked about last week Mike Joyce and how I think he's the most handsome of the four, or the five of them, I guess, on stage here, including Craig Gannon, but I forgot how much of an animal he is on the song. I mean, even though I've listened to it, but just watching him do it live, he's just pounding that snare drum. He's all around his kit. Just watching him go, I believe, if I think back now, he had like a muscle shirt of some kind on. Because, I mean, got to be loose for this. And just how, I don't know, how fast he is, how quick, fast and quick is the same thing. But how precise he is, though, at the same time. And how much of an animal he is. But, again, it still has a lot of precision. And he's still very timely. And, I don't know, just watching him go nuts. And, like I say, with the guitar lines off the bat from Johnny, and then like you go into Mike's part where he starts off, and just that pounding rhythm as well. Right when he started beating his kit, I don't know if I had an audible gasp or not, but I was thinking it, and that's just like, oh my God. What a feeling. And I was gonna say, I already talked about Johnny. Andy Rourke, I mentioned it last week, but of course he always had some elements of funk to him. And he was always very melodic himself. And I got to mention here again, he is very funky on this track, of course, very prominent. I mean, you can hear that bass line so well. And it's just, I talk about how what a cohesive unit they are. And as somebody mentioned last week in a comment of, what Craig Gannon's, purpose was in this album, or whenever he would be with the Smiths live, he added an extra oomph. And I have to agree, I definitely did add an extra oomph. And I like how, you could see him here on the camera there. He was in frame at different points, and it's just how fast he was on the guitar, and rhythm guitar, I do believe. But he really did add an extra element to the track, and he really did make it feel more bombastic in a way, and just made the band sound better, I guess, in a way too, and bigger. And oh my God, I was just taken aback. And Morrissey, I mean, I talked about him already, but his voice obviously exaggerated as hell. So there's a cat here on my dresser. As exaggerated as hell. He has of course, the song is one of, if not the most sarcastic Smith song of all time. And I know the band members have said, and especially Mike Joyce has said, that it's probably his favorite title Morrissey ever came up with. And it would be a title that of course, critics and people like that, or people who hate Morrissey or the Smiths, would, call him, Bigmouth. And then he took that word and used it a bit to his advantage. And how he said, it wasn't really made as an intent thing or whatever, where he was calling himself Bigmouth. He knows he's probably called a Bigmouth, but he doesn't care. It was a very sarcastic, very ironic, very funny song. It was just supposed to be humorous at the end of the day. And he knew that people would take Bigmouth and use it to this day, when describing whatever Morrissey's still saying. So anyway, 40 years later, whatever, he knew what he was doing, calling a song Bigmouth Strikes Again. So, he knew that critics would take the title and use it against them, and that's what they still do. So I love how he was playing chess and they were playing checkers, that kind of thing. But anyway, I just love, again, how some people do take it very seriously, and how, I don't know, maybe some people think he really doesn't think he belongs to society or what have you. But obviously, again, it's all about being funny, and it's irony being used here as well. And how he does think that, he belongs in society, but sometimes he's not afraid to talk or whatever. He's controversial. And once again, when I first reacted to the song, I had no idea. I don't think, anyway, I forget when I reacted to this, what number this was when I was doing Smith's reactions way back then. But I didn't really know much about Morrissey and I guess the criticism and all this stuff, but obviously that's just gone on to expand all these years later, and the song only means more all these years later, and it's still relatable to him. So I don't know, he knew what he was doing there, and yeah, it's just my goodness gracious. And I don't know if I read this quote way back when either, but it's been so long and I have not looked at my old Bigmouth Strikes Again reaction. But from Mike Joyce, when I talked about him liking this title, he commented once, he said, "What a fantastic title, one of Mazur's better ones. And with the song, you can see why he made journalists cream in their pants." Listen to the lyrical content. He was a one-off. And I just love how great the band felt about the song as well. And there you go there. And then it goes on about Johnny Marr's guitar riff on the track. Again, guitar riff, just a guitar riff god. And this is just another appearance of that or whatever, just like a killer guitar riff the whole way through, a chugging rhythm, and it just never lets up, and you just want to dance along like Morrissey was, almost like a drunk guy or something. But what a performer. And there you go. So anyway, let's get into some of these lyrics. Like I said earlier, I've gone over these lyrics before. There's not many of them, but let's have some fun. Let's get into them again. Sweetness, sweetness, I was only joking when I said I like to smash every tooth in your head. Oh, sweetness, sweetness, I was only joking when I said, by rights, you should be bludgeoned in your bed. And like I've mentioned many times, the sarcasm here is off the charts. He's being funny as hell, at least funny to me. And this is pretty much directed, as I said, to critics, to the royal family, whoever has been in Morrissey's path, and the people that he doesn't like, which is a long list at this point. And again, he doesn't care how, I guess he does care how you take this, but again, he's just being purely funny. And this whole thing, as I've mentioned many times now, was just a humorous take. So let's go on to the pre-chorus. And now I know how Joan of Arc felt. And of course, he's being outlandish in that way, knowing how Joan of Arc felt. And some people would probably take that literally and be like, he's comparing himself to Joan of Arc, for God's sakes. But again, he's just being funny. He's being outlandish on purpose. He's using hyperbole. I think that's the word. Anyway, now I know how Joan of Arc felt as the flames rose to her Roman nose and her Walkman started to melt. And yeah, just again, how he knows how that feels now because he's been burned by the press. He's been burned by critics and all this stuff. But again, it's sarcasm. And although he has been burned by them, but not to that level, I don't think he gives a shit much. And then yeah, the chorus, Bigmouth, la da 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 da, Bigmouth, and that's repeated on. And I've got no right to take my place with the human race, and that goes on. And again, just, driving towards these people who may think like that, or who think that Morrissey does have no right to take place with the human race. Obviously, he thinks he does in his own mind, and maybe he doesn't want to anyway, because of course we know Morrissey's not much of a people person, but it's just, again, he's just going off. He's having a one-off, as Mike Joyce said. And I mean, everything about the song, he was just so tongue-in-cheek, as he usually can be. We have the pre-chorus again, as I mentioned. Now I know how Joan of Arc felt. And I can't get over how exaggerated is the word I keep using, but just how crazy his delivery was here, and how, the roars he was doing, all this different stuff. Just very funny to me, and just very purposefully crazy, again, I could say. And And I laughed a few times there because I was just taken aback. Again, I've never seen the performance. I didn't know what he was going to do. And now I understand why people were requesting that one specifically. I mean, he just sounded like a wild animal at different points. They talk about how Mike Joyce seems like a wild animal in the drums, but Morrissey was a wild animal on that mic, plus his dancing too. Then the chorus is at the end there too, a very elongated chorus, of course, with Bigmouth strikes again, la da 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 da, and that's the end of it there. But like I say, I mean, there's just the one verse. Then you get the chorus and the pre-chorus said over and over. I feel like when they put this together, they were having such a good time with it and a fun time too. And they probably thought it was hilarious. And yeah, there didn't really have to be several different verses or anything like that. They just got, especially Morrissey, got what he wanted off of his chest there. And then why not have a few chorus and pre-choruses put in there after the main verse? So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say there. Of course, the main point here was the video itself. And I had a lot of fun reacting to that. A lot of fun looking at the performance here and watching them go on stage. And I guess this was probably, I didn't look at the Rank album, but the way they were saying goodbye and such, I don't know if they came back on for an encore, but this seemed like the last song of the night. What a way to go out. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. If you want to request any song at all, but also any Smiths performance or whatever you want, you can in the comments below. But thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.